You clicked on this video for a reason, and I really hope that I say something that helps you to understand your anxiety a little better when it comes to being anxious about your manifestation, especially when you start thinking about the time and what you want, and you want your person, and you want things to change, you want things to be different. But the funny thing about anxiety is anxiety comes from trying to be anywhere other than here and now. And I mean, when you really think about it, where else is there to go but here and now? This is all you have at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And the only reason the past keeps showing up is because we make it a thing. We attach meaning to it, and we decide to carry it over from every single moment to every single moment. So when you think about it, think of your life as snapshots. And if every moment of now was a frame, it would be now, 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 now. And so if you're always looking at your 3D circumstances, wanting things to be different, wishing you could be anywhere than here right now, you're missing all the action here in the now moment, because at any moment things can change. And even if you see yourself one way in the perceived future, we know that when you are manifesting, you are to bring there now and bring it into the here and now, so you can experience it here and now, just like those snapshots would be now, now, now. If you were assuming that you had what you want right now, it would be now, 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 now. And I know when it comes to the 3D, when we are looking out here in the 3D, we like to think that we need the 3D to show us something in order to feel good or to feel better or to feel as if our manifestation is complete. But you yourself are always going to be the evidence of your manifestation. Your manifestation is always going to be a byproduct of who you are being. To sum it up, really think about it like this: I am is the beginning and the end. So that means the intention and its fulfillment. Whenever you say this is what you want, right then and there, it is done. So there is no middle in this. There is no middle in this at all. But when we decide that, yes, I want my SP, yes, I want a specific amount of money, yes, I want whatever it is, and it is yours automatically. But when we are looking to the 3D for there to be certain signs, wonders, changes, and expectations that we have of how things are going to play out, at some point, the little you that they call the ego gets tired, and then it decides to create the illusion of separation. And in that, it decides like, well, I'm going to forget for a moment that I'm the source, and I'm going to get really involved in this story because I feel like I know exactly how things should work out. So your ego is always the one that conditions your manifestation. It always puts the deadlines, it always puts the time frames, it always assumes that things aren't working, it always assumes that there's always someone else outside of it opposing it, and they have to fight against it. And that's what really makes the movie really good. That's what makes this frame, this timeline really exciting. And I mean, you get so involved in the story because you're a damn good actor. You just forgot that you were playing a game. And so when things get in a situation where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm beating up against the 3D and it's not changing, at that moment we get to the point, the ego gets to the point where it wants to throw its hands up and be like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. It's just not working. I don't know why this is going on. I don't know why the 3D isn't showing me this, and that, because I know what's best. And it's only the illusion of the separation that's in place here. And I was thinking about a client that I had yesterday, and she has a situation that's kind of similar to mine. And so when I tell you guys that I have experienced all of these same things that you yourself have experienced, I get it. So she wanted to manifest $10 million immediately, and she wanted her SP, and she wanted a family with her SP, all the things that of course she deserves and that she is worthy of just because that's her birthright. But in the end, it was always her fighting up against her 3D, and then she wanted to manifest all these things because she was just tired of her 3D. She's like, I'm just so over this story. I want what I want. I want it to be done, and I'm done with trying to figure this out. But meanwhile, she was always choosing the 3D, always reacting to the 3D, always wanting the 3D, and the little ego gets involved and reaches out to the SP and really decides like, oh, I don't know if I want to even work my job. And also too, I have a purpose and I know what I want to do in my life, but I want to start my business when I get this money. So it's like you think that manifesting all these things are going to take care of that 3D that's dead anyway, the 3D that you forget that you're only playing the game of. And so you keep beating the 3D up until you're like, oh, I'm just going to manifest all this money and my partner and all these things, and I'm not going to do anything until I get that. So that's the ego throwing its hands up and saying, I don't want to be God now. I don't want this, because I think we only think that we want to be I am when things are going amazing and when we're happy and feeling good. But when we see things that we don't want to see and we get involved in things and certain situations happen and we take them so literal and seriously, then at that time we want to throw our hands up and we're like, oh, I'm not God now when it comes to that situation, because we forget one thing. We forget one thing, and it's that the all is inclusive. It's inclusive. The all is absolute. The all is everything. It does not condemn. It does not make conditions. It is unconditional. So it means that it accepts every single possible reality, every single lifeline, every single situation. It accepts it all. It sees it all as neutral. It doesn't see what you deem, the ego deems, as bad and unwanted, because it's something that you've created. And so when you're looking like, oh, my 3D is showing me something that I don't want to see, then I am sits back there observing and is like, what problem? Because there is no problem. We only chose to play this story, and we're playing this story in this movie line, but you forgot that you were the source of it. You forgot that you were the beginning and the end, and you got involved in the middle because you thought that you knew exactly what to do. And of course, that's what happens when we get involved in the game. But when we wake up and realize that, hey, I'm the source, then automatically we take responsibility for where we are in all scenarios. And a lot of my success stories, including my subscribers and including my clients, and also every success story that you hear on my channel, you will hear the turning point was when they accepted all outcomes, when they accepted that everything that was playing out was just one possibility. But you being the source, you realize that when you just accept all that there is because you've created it, then you realize that you can fall back into awareness and realize that, hey, you can allow that thing that you don't like, the thing that causes you the anxiety, to be there. That doesn't mean that you're choosing something that you don't want to happen, but it is accepting that, hey, you as the source can create all different realities and has all different realities inside of you. This is your universe, of course. So where you are putting your awareness, where you are paying your attention, you are paying this story your attention, and you are buying into the story of lack and separation, and you are causing that story, that lifeline, to thrive by buying into the separation. So you buy it with your awareness. Like I said, you guys, I really get it. I tell you guys all the time, I'm on your side, because I really am. When I tell you I've created a lot of things, as far as, of course, highs and lows. This means successes. This means $0, negative bank account. This means almost getting evicted. All the things that you guys go through, these things I have been through too, and I've also manifested and have been aware of tons of money in the bank and tons of success, and I've had the roller coasters. But when I tell you that the truth is, there is only one. There is only one mind. So it's not anyone that's going to be separate outside of you. This is all you. This is all your play, and we're all here just mirroring back to you what you believe to be true about yourself. And if it's you who feels like you are separate, we have no choice but to assume and also show you and mirror back to you what you feel, that you feel the separation. So in the end, could you really see the bigger picture? I ask that you step back just slightly and get a broad view, because if you can see that this in the end is actually love, the fact that you're seeing something that you don't want, and the fact that you keep choosing this story, you keep choosing the 3D, you keep choosing a dead story. And so of course, when people interact, or your SP or your money situation or whatever the situation is that keeps showing up, it has to say, okay, like, I'm showing you what you want. Yes, this is love, but when your SP leaves you for good or ghosts you, or when the money stops coming completely, or whatever this is love. The fact that you are so supported that you could even decide to create separation or the illusion of separation, that you are loved and that supported, that everyone will play the part to show you exactly who you think you are, even if it's a lie, even if it's an illusion. Of course, the all is inclusive. And when we decide to take our responsibility in this, this is what makes everything neutral. This is what makes everything lighthearted, because it really in the end is a game. The one thing that I find that source really moves quickly with, or your manifestations really come quickly with, is the idea of harmony. And the idea of harmony is the idea of harmony with all realities, for you to be neutral in all situations, for you to realize that if you are in a situation that you don't like right now that causes you anxiety, the goal here is not to reject it, not to flip the thoughts, not to condemn it, not to say that, oh, this person is doing that or this person is doing that, and of course I'm not getting what I want because the 3D is not showing me this. It's not to do any of those things. It's to get into harmony, to realize, okay, I thought and I created an illusion of separation of myself from the source, and this is just what the outcome is. But this is only one little teeny tiny thing that can happen, and from here, right now, the only moment that I do have, I can decide to perceive this differently. Because as A Course in Miracles say, a lot of the times people think that we have problems. We don't have problems, we have a perception problem. So you just decided to take on the perception of separation and illusion, and that everything that you wanted was outside of you and not already within you. And so that is the illusion, that is the veil over everything that you could ever want, because there in the end there is no separation, there is no lack, there is no lack of anything in the one divine mind. But you're so loved and you're so chosen and you're so wanted and you're so desired by I am, that it will allow you to have the experience of something that you don't want. And that's when that ego separates itself from source, thinking that it knows everything and that it could do it better than the one mind anyway. So when I tell you, all we're doing is playing stories. All we are doing all day is choosing stories to play. And so every time you see something in your 3D and you are so outward focused and you're wanting so bad for that thing to change, the reason why you get no movement at all is because you are choosing something that's dead over and over and over again. And not only that, the reason why a lot of people can't fix any perceived problems is because there's no such thing as a problem, and the problem itself does not even exist. So this is why when you come into harmony with what is and the possibility of all that is here now, that's why perceived problems tend to dissolve on their own, because you yourself are being still and allowing all to be there, but still recognizing your own one true power, that there is only one mind. And when you decide to use the one mind to guide it and direct it into where is good, love, truth, peace, harmony, thinking all these things about yourself, of course, what that does is you decide to turn inward. So instead of looking at this like at the 3D, what awareness does is it starts to fold in on itself. And so when you are at one and contemplating with this, what does that do? That takes your attention off of the 3D. And what does everybody and everyone and all the money and everything that you are looking for, what does it have the chance to do? It has the chance to turn and fold back in on you, because remember, everything unfolds through you and not you are looking out here. So how, if you are looking out here at everything, how can it change? Because you are holding it in place with your awareness. But when you come back inward, everything has to turn inward and unfold through you in the way that you prefer. Okay, so anxiety is actually source energy in action, source energy wanting you to realize, like, hey, you are choosing a story of yourself that's not true. I will support you in this story because you are loved, chosen, and cared for, but that doesn't mean that this is true about you, because what's true about I am is the same that's true of you, and it is the all, and you encompass the all. So it's just what story that you want to choose, just what story that you want to play. And remember, this is all your play, and even you created me to tell you what it is that you already know, because there is only you in this room, and we're all just reflecting back to you what you perceive to be true about I am. But make no mistake about anything, you guys, there is only one. There is only one. There is only one mind, and it's not separate from anything, as you are not separate from me, and I am not separate from you. So when you see other success stories as well, they are not separate from you, and you are not separate from them. So every time I see somebody have an amazing success story, I'm like, yes, that is a reflection of me. That is showing me that that is actually me. So it's one more step closer to my truth. It's one more expression of the all. And when I see someone who is struggling as well, I still say that, hey, that's me too. But I also can see you in the way that you want to see yourself. And I can tell you and I can express to you, hey, you are just under the illusion of separation when there is no such thing. So you see, when you come back into harmony with what is, it automatically rearranges around you. Okay, so you are not stuck. There is nothing out here going wrong. Everything is going correct, because in the end there is no problem. You just chose a version of yourself that had those certain problems. But when you lean back and come into harmony with oneness, this is why I tell you guys, contemplating with I am is the best thing that you can do. And that way everything around you will turn back in on you to reflect who it is that you are being, which is the one, the source, and the all. All right. So you guys, I hope that this video really resonates with you guys, and I'm always here for you guys. When I tell you I've had a range of things, ups and downs, and I feel like I've had about 10 lives in this 33 years that I've been on earth. So when I tell you guys that there is only one, and there is only the illusion of separation, that this is what it is, that there's nothing that you need to do but to assume the position and not to throw your hands up when you are seeing something that you don't like, because this is your game. So you have to participate in this game, and you participate in this game by assuming the position of the all, being one with the all, calling the shots in your life, and not allowing the 3D to be your God, because there is only one, of course. So choose this day who you will serve, and it will be so. All right. So I love you guys so much. If you ever need a session with me, or just would like to chit chat with me, either join our Discord and connect with like-minded individuals on there, or if you want to book a phone session with me, get down in the description box below. All the information is there as well. And don't forget, you guys, I'm telling you the truth. I'm always on your side. All right. And imagination is always on your side as well. Bye.